Hi, Dan with Four Oaks Family Homestead. I am going to start a mini-series. It's going to be a bunch of quick posts, and it's going to be 10 days planting in sub-freezing weather. So outside it's going to be below freezing, at least at night. Coming up this next week, it's going to be sub-freezing even during the day. Now obviously I'm here in the hoop house, so it's a little bit different for me, but I'm going to utilize what I have here, built this hoop house, for just this purpose. I'm going to plant for the next 10 days. I'm going to plant something each day in weather the outside is at least below freezing. So for the first day, I went ahead and harvested a bunch of cilantro. This stuff smells amazing. Now cilantro was all the way back in the back corner there. In one of my 5-gallon buckets, I planted 14 or 16 plants in it, and it did amazing. I mean, obviously, look at this. That is a nice bunch of cilantro. I'm going to put it in one of my grocery plastic bags, and I'll show you what we're planting today. See if I can do this with one hand here. Probably not. Well, there we go. There's our bag of cilantro. And here's kind of just a little show of what's going on. Now I do have a frost cloth over here on the side, and I cover on top of the frost cloth I use landscape fabric, and I am hoping, this is an experiment, take you guys along with me, that keeps my greens from freezing over. We're supposed to have low temperatures of about 28 degrees tonight, and it keeps getting colder for the next week. How cold can it be outside for our hoop house to keep our vegetables alive? That's our question. That's what we're going to try and find out. Hopefully it no matter what happens outside, we're able to keep our stuff alive. It's not supposed to be like negative 0 or anything. I mean, single digits is still pretty cold though for this part. We're in zone 7B in central Oklahoma. Big cold front coming in, and we're just going to show what happens, and each day we're going to plant something new. Alright, so day number 1 of the 10-day sub-freezing planting challenge. We have, I'll show you here, it's a microgreens basic salad mix. Now, I think that this will sprout very well. It has kale, lettuce, broccoli, spinach, and radish, all mixed together. And it's just a mix of different little, about the same size seeds. I'll show you how we planted it. There's my fist for comparison. Planted it in just a small little starter planter. I filled it full of my usual starting mix, which is about 1/4 peat moss, 1/4 just red dirt, Oklahoma red dirt, and 1/4 potting mix, and the other 1/4 being a mix of rabbit manure and just reclaimed potting mix from previous year's plantings. And all I've done is filled it most of the way full, watered it well to where it just moistens the soil all the way. Took our seed mix, show you what it looks like. Seed mix just looks like this, and I just sprinkled it on top of it, all around. Nice little even coating. And I took a little bit more soil, sprinkled on top of that, and then watered it again. And that's all I've done at this point. And that is what we're doing for day number 1 of the sub-freezing planting challenge. And we'll follow along and see how everything goes, how this works out, and if everything, you can see my planters here, the remains of them on the ground. I'm going to clean those up in a second. But I've just taken a milk jug for many things, cut the top of it off, put holes in the bottom, and use those for my new 1-gallon planters. They seem to be going pretty well. But for this thing, I just use a little pot, and so right here you can see one of the seeds right there on top. Just going to give him some soil contact. Cover him up just a hair. Come on. we'll see how it goes. Next Thursday, which is the just a couple days before Christmas, we're supposed to have a low of single digits. 8 degrees, I believe, is the forecasted low. Obviously, it could change between now and then, more or less. But that's what we're fighting against. How well will this hoop house work to keep our vegetables alive? I mean, is it down to what temperature? All right, just finished up for tonight, and I have our greenhouse buttoned up over here. I'll show you what it looks like all sealed up. And we have a freeze cloth. Over top of freeze cloth, we have 2 layers of landscape fabric. That's tucked around all the edges of the area that I'm trying to keep from freezing over. It goes all along the edge there. So that's how we're going to leave it every night. And I'll bring you back tomorrow when we do our next day's planting, and we'll follow up, and hopefully by day number 10 we might have some sprouts on the microgreens. Now usually, well, if I grow them in like a set temperature around the 70s or whatnot, they will tend to have grown plenty in 2 weeks and they'll be ready to harvest. But out here, I have no idea how they're going to do, so we'll see how they do. 9 more days to go, and we will do an update each day. We'll follow up to see if by maybe day number 7, we'll follow. Goodness gracious.